What's up, guys? My name is Marco. I'm a grateful citizen of the United States of America, and Donald Trump is my president. Happy Monday, everyone. It's a beautiful day here in California. Bianca Gracia. What's up, Bianca? Everybody, please say hi to Bianca. She's an awesome patriot. We are putting together a conference this month on the 20th. And Bianca is doing a great job putting it together. She's doing an awesome job. She's a little stressed, but hey, that's what it takes. You know, that's the price of the glory. We're gonna have a taste of the glory. We're going to have our day in the sun and a taste of the glory. I'm telling you guys, I am fascinated by this political world, this political process. My personal opinion is that when you deal with politics is a purification process. It is a purification process. It is a process where we as society, we the people, we choose the people that are going to make decisions for us, and in order for that to happen, there is a process of, it requires a level of leveling of the pride of everybody. So we have to put ourselves aside, and there's gonna be times that we don't agree with things, and there's divisive issues. But we have to understand that just because somebody doesn't agree with you, that doesn't mean they don't like you, right? Because if we cannot deal with the problems that we have inside the movement, how are we gonna deal with the problems that we have with the other side, with the left? So, Bianca and I, we have been working for the last 3.5, 4 years. So, for a relationship to last this long in this world, it takes a lot. We have been working really hard, and I think Bianca and I, we have Latinos for Trump. We have this beautiful group where we even Duke Machado, which he had an interview with me. We're family. Yes, we're family. And what attracted Duke Machado, and I'll let him say that to you guys, to work with Latinos for Trump, was the fraternity, the camaraderie that we have among ourselves, and the spiritual connection. As he said it, familia, Alicia says. Most of the people that are in Latinos for Trump, and all the patriots out there, all of you guys are committed people. And I follow you guys, and I respect and admire your activism. And I learn a lot from all of you guys. Remember, I'm the baby here. Because I just came to this country 20-something years ago. So I'm like a baby, when it comes to this politics, U.S. politics. But I feel honored and I feel humbled to have been part of this movement for the last 4 years. And we're not going anywhere. So Parler, what is it? Parler. Ler. It's a new social media uh, that everybody's migrating to. Donald Trump's already there, and if you go and read their guidelines, pretty straightforward. You have a platform of like-minded people where we're not gonna have to deal with all this censoring and all this Facebook bias crap where they suspended us and they it's like we're a bunch of kids that, like when you went to school and you were suspended from the class for doing something wrong. It's just stupid, guys. We're not kids, but they're treating us like kids. So guys, we have this conference in Texas. You're invited. You're a guest of honor. We would love to have you there. If you are from Texas, you don't want to miss this conference. And if you're not from Texas too, I'm trying to get Linda and Angie and Jasmina and a bunch of other patrons from California to go. I'm trying to get people from Florida to go. And let me see. So I'm gonna do this live because I want to invite Duke Machado here. And let me see, get requests. So he can tell us about this great event that they had in El Paso. So Duke, just write, like, say hi or something so I see that you're there and I can bring you up. So guys, there's people across the country that every day they get up at 5 in the morning and they start doing MAGA things. Okay? And I am so blessed that I get to talk to you guys and I get to see you and I get to see what you're doing. And this time, Dorian, Anthony, and Duke, Dalia Hernandez, which I was gonna be there. She thought I was gonna be there. That's why she went, but I couldn't. At the end, I couldn't get my flight secured, so I couldn't go. But I am so happy that all patrons got together that day and they did MAGA things. What's up, Esther? Helen, hola, ¿cómo estás? Bianca, she says we want all patrons here. Don Chase, you said you found me? Awesome. Scott San. Guys, if you don't know Scott, this is a guy you want to follow. This guy, I've been following him for a long time on Twitter. I've been seeing the work he does. He's amazing, and he's the type of patriot that you want to be around. Okay, so let me see. So I'm gonna bring Duke about patriot things. Hey, Duke.
¿Qué pasa?
¿Cómo estás?
Good. I just pulled over just so we can have this deal here. You might hear some cars driving by, but I'm not driving.
Cool. That's good. That's good. So Duke, this new social media thing allows us to meet from across the country, and it takes time, but I've been watching what you have been doing. I'm sure you have been watching what I've been doing, and sort of like we kind of like already know each other, right? But we just hadn't had that one-to-one
right
opportunity.
Yep.
And I really like to talk to people like you, because I keep saying there's so many people out there that know more about this movement than I do. But that's the beauty of this movement that allows us, all of us, from different walks of life to get together and to talk about this, and especially in the Hispanic community. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Are you first generation, second generation, or what's the deal?
Man, I'm fifth generation.
Fifth.
Fifth generation Tejano. Born. My family's been in Texas since before it was Texas, and I'm a veteran. I'm a family guy, married to the same awesome woman for 27, 28 years. I better get that right. Um, we've got one little girl. She's 11 years old, and I've been in the car business for 25 years, and I've seen a lot in my days. And I just really, after when Obama became president, I was shocked. I couldn't believe how he was elected, and I knew something had to be done. And the first thing, I got mad. I was mad at the Republican Party because I was placing blame, on them. How could they do this? How could they let this happen? How could they whatever? And then it hit me like a brick wall. What did you do about it, Duke? What did you do? And I didn't do anything. I was I was just a bystander, just watching as everything was happening around me. And once he was elected, I decided that I had to get involved to do something, and I've been kind of doing things ever since.
But tell me a little bit about that's my like when I went to Texas and I saw Texas for the first time, and they were all singing music that from an old Mexico, like it's like you guys kept Mexico in a capsule, and it's you guys have Mexico, and like I went back in time, but so in the 1800s, you're talking about 1900s, so that's before the revolution of Mexico.
Well, my if you go way back on my mother's side of the family, um, my grandfather's great great grandfather, whoever he was, a Spanish soldier, and Spain occupied Mexico at one point. We all know that history, and he fell in love with a Mexican woman, and he wanted to get married to her, but her family didn't allow it. So because Mexicans hated the Spanish soldiers, and so there was an incident that happened, and he ended up killing somebody over this situation in Mexico. And so he got on his horse and wagon and went by and picked her up and said, "Hey, I'm leaving. If you're going to come with me, now's the time." And they headed up to where Jordanton or Pleasanton area is in Texas. It's kind of southern part of Texas, and that's where they settled. And his name was Timoteo Tijerina, and so I've got Tijerina, and on my father's side, um, they are Portuguese, and they ended up in Cuba, and so my family is, I call myself a mutt: Spanish, Mexican, Cuban, Portuguese. Who knows what else really, but Tejano for sure. I know that.
So what was the deal? Like, what's the stories about when Mexico was when the United States came, the federal government took over? How do you, what do they tell you? How things work there? Because a lot of people in California is not the same. Some people were saying in Texas that, oh, the border, I didn't cross the border crossed me. Do you feel
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that feel that way still there?
yeah. There are a few, but what they're not willing to acknowledge. There's several things. Number one is the whole reason it all started was because of broken promises from Mexico. Mexico made promises to American citizens and said, you can come out here and you can settle in all this territory and bring your families and bring everyone and come settle out here, and we'll protect you. So there was no protection. The Indians massacred American citizens, and because of this, people had to get involved, and we had to start protecting ourselves. And when we started getting involved and bringing our military in to do things, well, now our military is in this territory, we're defending our own people. The Mexican government was not protecting the people, like they weren't holding their end of the bargain. And of course they didn't like it. They didn't like the fact that maybe so many were coming over, or maybe that the U.S. military was now here, cavalry and everything. And so they sent their troops up. And we know what happened at the Alamo. We know what happened at other battles here in Texas. But, when they engaged Tejanos in military conflict, and the Tejanos that were aligned with the United States government, and we won that war, guess what? You claim that territory. To the victor goes the spoils, and the spoils were Texas and more. But yes, there are a lot of people who still say that we stole this from Mexico. Those people are all Democrats. All most Democrats, that's how they feel in Texas. And yeah, it's a wedge. But most people in general here in Texas, we have a love for Latinos. We love Latino. We're everywhere here in Texas, and to for them to continue to say that we need to give the land back, and no, no, no. This was fought for with blood, sweat, tears. There were a lot of sacrifice, a lot of lives lost, and we will always remember the Alamo. Always remember that last letter that was written saying that we will stay here to the end. That we're going to defend this, and that's what Texans are all about, man. We're no nonsense. We
You
are
know,
we are fighters here because
I have a friend, Raymond Herrera. He's a great patriot. He knows a lot about the movement, and he told me that a story where when the Alamo went up, when they won, that they went to Americans occupied Mexico, and they were 50, and Santana was nowhere to be found, and they were there 15 days waiting, looking for him, so they would give the the memorandum or the understanding that they have won, because they could have taken over the whole country.
hmm I had heard something about that, and I've also heard, and other people have said we should have just taken Mexico when we won Texas, right? We should have just kept going. I don't know about that. I don't know that. I mean, to me, that might be going a little too far, but who knows? In the end, it ended up being great for our nation because we got all that territory when Santa Anna surrendered, and we made that new treaty. Um,
Was that the Guadalupe Hidalgo
Texas.
Treaty? Was that the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty, or that's
I don't know
I think that's
what's that.
part of California history. So I don't know if the Guadalupe Hidalgo
Hmm.
Treaty went all the way there, but basically the Guadalupe Hidalgo Treaty, uh, there's this. He was a monk. He was a priest, and he just wanted the killing to end because there was a lot. Even though they had already won, still a lot of people were resisting to the federal
Hmm.
insurgents. But I go back to that treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo because if you talk about the wall, Article 5, Article 6 and 7 of that treaty talks about each country having the right to build a boundary, a river, or whatever it would be. So the wall they already talked about the wall back then. Um,
Hmm.
so I bring that up once in a while, and people, they just don't know what to say about that. But that's awesome. So Texas became a country in itself for a while then.
Right. So we were our own nation. We were our own nation, and then we eventually decided that we would benefit by joining the union. And I believe that was the right choice, even though you have people today who say that we need to secede, that we need to be our own country. I don't agree with that. There's so many benefits to being part of America, and that would not have gone well. I think the way that we are now, the alliances that we've created with all the other states, the trade and everything that we do with everyone, it would be foolish to pull out and to go solo. I think the country needs us. Just imagine this. Imagine this. If Texas were to pull out, what would the nation be like with the electoral college right now? You know, it'd be Democrat nation forever.
Right. Hey, please say hi to Valentina. So Valentina was one of
Hey,
the
Valentina.
people that got me involved in all of this. Um, she was one of the first Latinos for Trump, actually, Valentina. Um,
Awesome.
and and I hope she's coming back for 2020 because she took a break there. But
Mm.
yeah, she's what I was telling Joel, Jen, Joel, that because she put a picture and she had a sombrero. I don't know if you saw that picture. Charro, sombrero charro, and I told her that she was an Adelita of the South. And the Adelitas were the women that fought along with Pancho Villa. They were
Mm.
very strong women that followed the revolution in the revolution time. So when I talk to people like you, like them, it's like it's in our blood to be doing what we're doing. It's the same movie. It's just different actors. Of course, it's a
Mm-hmm.
different version of this political environment, but it's the same thing as far as making sure that the people that were there they take care because see the Spanish they really didn't conquer Mexico the way we think they did. You know, if you see Mexico, there's and I tried to say this on MSNBC, they're very resilient people. I mean, we have been there for more than 2,000 years. You
Mm.
know, and you'll be there. So if you want to, Hispanics are going to prevail in food and music and I see it in Texas. Even though you guys are American, but you have created your own version. Uh, you have incorporated both cultures, which is exactly what the Spanish and the Aztecs did at the end. You know, Spain didn't want Criollos anymore when they went back with all the gold and everything. The Indians stayed in a burned and raped country. They had no choice but join together and create a new music, create a new world. And the mestizo was born. So I think here we have the
Mm-hmm.
same opportunity to just stop fighting and just integrate, just like Texas has done, and especially here in California, people resist that integration. Um,
Well, not all of Texas, and Texas is getting very liberal in a lot of our big cities like Houston and San Antonio, Austin, and El Paso, where we just had that event. You get up to Dallas and Fort Worth, and you're talking about cities of multi-million populations, and they are heavily Democrat. I mean, it's a strategy of the Democrats to turn Texas blue. And when you look at you're talking earlier about it's in our blood, right? Well, to me, what's in our blood is the willingness to work for something first without knowing what the reward or what the benefits going to be down the road. I don't know what's going to happen when I go into a meeting, but I go to the meeting. We don't know how all this political stuff is going to work out, but we're putting in the work. We're putting the miles on the cars. We're meeting the people. We're doing all the things that we think need to be done, right? Because we know it's got to be done. The end result we hope will be a unified Latino front for President Trump.
you're talking like a car salesman now.
Well, but look, there's no, we don't get paid. We're not getting paid for
No,
this.
you know how they
No
say, just
one, no
load
one
the
is
wagon, load the wagon, even if the it's
load the wagons and we just go. They say we got to do something. I'm there. Why? Because I love this country. Everything, all the things the Democrats say about this country, all the hateful things, man, they need to open their eyes because number one, they're lying. They're lying. This is the best place to live in the world. Period. Everyone wants to come here. Why? Because if you wake up tomorrow, you can go do something and chase your dreams. You can't do that anywhere else. You can have a bad day today and an awesome day tomorrow. You can have $1 million idea and go pursue that and turn it into money and raise your family and teach your children how to be successful. Capitalism, that's the engine. That's what you can say. These Democrats can say what they want, but they know they're full of it. They know it because why don't they leave? Why don't they just move to Mexico or Canada? It's not that far, right? But they don't leave. Not even the actors who say they got the money to leave, but they still don't leave.
That's because they don't have Comcast and all those companies out there.
Yeah, yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, they're full of it, and all they do is just repeat the same lies over and over again, louder and louder. They got nothing. And when it comes to policies that are good for Americans, Republicans have those policies. We care about people. We care about life. We care about protecting the unborn. We care about our religious liberties. We care about families. Democrats want everybody to believe we want to separate families. We want to take, I get tired of hearing all the Democrat garbage, but and they motivate me. They motivate me to go out and do all these things for nothing.
you know, I don't know how we got into this, and I think that God kind of like maybe in another life we were in a group somewhere. But we every time I meet people in this movement, it's usually people that have already had similar experiences and they're ready to be of service. Just like you said, we can only do the work, and the results are going to be in God's hands. But so far, what I'm seeing, it's a
Mhm.
great. I mean, this experience, I wouldn't change it for anything. When you have the opportunity to make change in your communities, that's a blessing, actually, I think.
No, it's an honor. I tell you, and I say it anytime I'm speaking somewhere to a Republican group or something, and I'm sitting there and I look in the crowd and I see these people, and I wonder what are they thinking about this Latino standing in front of them, getting ready to talk to them. And I always carry humility when I go and I speak from the heart. I never have notes. I tell them what's on my mind, what's on our mind, what we're trying to do, and how we need them and how they need us. And I try to connect us so that when the time comes when the time comes we're going to be there ready. And so I don't know. I think when I leave a meeting, I feel like the Holy Spirit is with me in that room and everybody feels it. It I don't know how to explain it. It's just um, it's awesome feeling when they come up afterwards and they're so thankful. Thank you, they say. I was beginning to wonder. That's what they say. I was beginning to wonder about Latinos and if everybody's just turning Democrat or if you guys are really out there, Republicans supporting Trump. I said, yeah, we're out here. We're out here. We're organizing, and it's a long time coming, Marco. I mean, really, what you started here, it's blossoming and it's growing, and it's because of our, I believe, and I know you do too, and our group does, is that we're doing this for the Lord's glory, not ours, for our country. There's no self organization. If we see that, boom. we cut it off because we can't have that in our movement.
You know, a brand or a product for it to become national, there is so much resistance that you need millions and millions of dollars for it to succeed. And there's a route actually when you launch a new product or a new service, and they start up in Seattle, then it goes and they keep investing money in it. If they make it all the way to Florida, then that's when the investors fund the product. So it goes national. They go and invest on national ads at at the mainstream media, basketball games, football games, and that becomes national. Latinos for Trump, there was so much resistance, but we have made it. And it's Donald Trump. If you put Latinos for Trump, there is probably millions of entries already on the internet, good and bad, all kinds.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that is, I'm still here, but there's a lot of people that have helped that, and I want to thank all of them for doing that, and I want to thank you for continuing that. When I saw that ad from that news outlet, and I saw Latinos for Trump, and it wasn't about me. It was you guys. And I felt so special, man. I was like, man, look at that, an idea from 3.5 years
Yeah.
ago. It's out there.
Yeah. And now it's taken hold. And the thing is that it's not easy. It's not easy because there's a lot of personalities. There's a lot of ideas. Um, People a lot of times want to do their own thing. So what we have here and the way that the group brings in new leadership, everyone's on the same page. Like I said, there's no self promotion in our group. Yes, we all end up promoting ourselves, but we're not promoting ourselves to get paid. We're not. We're not just going and taking pictures with elected officials so we can show our friends that we know Senator so and so and Congressman so and so. I would rather take pictures with precinct chairmen. I would rather take pictures with volunteers. To me, that's where the meat and potatoes of the whole operation is. It's in the people.
And you would
And
probably learn more. You would probably learn more from that.
you will learn more. And like El Paso was, I know we're going to get to that, but El Paso was such an experience. I can't wait to share that.
So go ahead. Tell me what was it like putting it together, and getting with the guys together, because I don't know if you knew Anthony from before or Dorian. So getting to know these guys and seeing that we're all coming together in the same, the same rhythm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Anthony and Dorian, Anthony, the Border Network News. He's been reporting on the border for a long time. I've seen his videos, and before he joined our group, um, I was real excited to bring him on. Dorian, I didn't know him as well, but I got to know him in that radio interview, and we talked a few times about things. And this event was planned. We planned this event a while back, and so you know how it is. You get busy. You're like, oh darn, we got this event in a couple of weeks. We need to lock this down. And so, but bringing Anthony on was a good move for us because he's got a huge fan base, his followers that watch his program, and everything was good. Um, he had a good location picked out, and he had some his own fans and followers were at this event. Dorian, great guy, also very well spoken, a true conservative. Glad to have both of them on the ground in El Paso. Um, but I contacted the party leadership.
Okay.
I contacted the chairman, and we talked about the event. I asked him, to collaborate with us, and he was willing to do that. And not everyone, it's not an automatic. We would like to think that it's an automatic that we're going to have support from the party, but you still have to ask, and you have to lay that foundation of trust and working relationships with all these chairmen. And Adolfo was very helpful. He did an email blast to the entire El Paso GOP. They did a Facebook post marketing on their Facebook page, and and they invited media, and they invited the media. And so at the event, the event was a culmination of collaboration. It was party working with grassroots, and what you saw in that news deal, we had an English one and we had a Spanish one, and both of them were Latinos for Trump. The chairman spoke on in one of them in Spanish, and Dorian spoke in the other interview in English. So what the chairman was saying there is that their biggest issue is getting their message out, because El Paso is like 75% Democrat, and all the media, all everything over there is essentially anti-Republican. So he has been able to make a few contacts with some media, but what they like about what we do is exactly this: what we're doing right now. That we have our own outlets for media. That we have a workaround to help get exposure on issues that need attention. And I committed to him that we would help them, and he committed to us that he would let us help them, and that he would help us whatever we needed. So it was a really good, productive event. I got to speak with a lot of the locals there at the rally, and look, I got an earful. I got an earful. There's not all parties are 100% cohesive. There's there's some issues. There's some personal gripes and complaints. There's some different factions, that are kind of some work with and some work against, but it's all, to me, when I was there, I was talking to him, I was listening to these. I said, what's the big picture here? Is the big picture this issue, or is the big picture that we can unite and do what El Paso needs to do for President Trump? That's the big picture. Are we going to allow personal things to interfere with the grand scheme of why we do what we do? We're here to help President Trump. We have to be united. We have to work with our party. We got to get to the state convention. We got to get to the national convention. You're not going to do that working against your local party. And so, you know, I've been called a peacemaker. I've been called a peacemaker, and so I was working real closely with people and leaders in El Paso to try to draw them together and to help understand that, yes, we may have some personal differences here, but we're on the same team. We can't
You
be
know,
we can't be arguing with each other like this.
look, I played of the church choir for about 2 years a while back, and every once in a while there was some people that came to me and say, "Hey, you guys need to practice more. You guys don't do a good job." and and I'm like, well, if you come and join us, let's do
Yeah.
and I think that's the problem is sometimes we're too quick to criticize the GOP, but we don't understand that they get so much heat sometimes, and we don't even show up to their meetings. So how are we gonna have a understanding of what's going on?
Hmm. Right. I mean, it's a two-way street, and that's look, when the current chairman, who maybe they have a lot of, not a lot, there are some people that have issue with him, but when he took over, El Paso GOP had $300 in a city, in a county with 420,000 voters. 420,000 voters and you're the Republican Party, you've got $300. What are you going to do? How can you be effective? A lesson I learned early in this political game is you got to have money. You got to have money for everything. You want to put events together, takes money. You want to do promotions, takes money. You want to buy flyers, money. Signs, money. Banners, money. Everything takes money. You want to support candidates, takes money. So, look, parties get built up and they come down. Where where we have to or we want to play a role is to help the parties to fill the empty precincts. Every county has empty precincts. And with us what we're doing, that's a we can use our volunteer force and help these counties. This collaboration shows on our end that we're committing and we're working. And when these counties see that, they're going to reciprocate. We have to be about substance. We have to be doing things that matter. And like I said before, we can't focus on the minors. We have to be, what is it? Don't focus on. I can't remember how that phrase goes. Focus on the major issues, the main goals, and we're laser focused. It's all about President Trump. So hopefully we can overcome any issues that we have in counties uh, by showing what we're able to do, and that's the power of our group.
The looking at the big picture now, I don't know how does your delegates work. It's different delegates every convention, national and state, or you rotate them.
Well, yeah, you have to. Well, you go to your county um, primary, and then you go to your so you go to your day, and then you get put on a list. You go to your county convention, and you want to go to the state. You get put on a list, and you get voted on to see if you can make it as a delegate to go to state. And at state, your caucus meets, and then you have to convince them. You speak in front of your caucus and convince them that you will go and you will represent the caucus the way the caucus wants you to vote and what candidate that they want you to vote for. And then if you get elected, then you get to go to the national convention. So there's three conventions before the national convention here. I don't know what it's like everywhere else, but here we got to get to the state convention. You're not going to get to the state convention by upsetting the order or by upsetting the county process. You see,
You have to follow.
that's where
You have to follow the
that's
structure.
where everybody here we have to have an alliance with our local county GOPs because they have to know that we want to go to the state convention, we want to go to the national convention, and we're willing to do the work and we will show up. Give us a chance, give us a shot. And if we're working together, then we're going to have that. And so that's why to me it's so important to resolve
Now,
all these
I
issues.
think that I don't know how the GOP is composed right now in Texas, but I remember at the national convention uh, when Cruz was there and we were trying to get Trump nominated. Most of your delegates, probably 70%, were for Cruz. Um, and so I don't know. I mean, that changed, but there's a few organizations out there that I not the GOP, but some organizations that I feel that they're not so much for Trump.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that they've been kind of silent, but the Never Trump groups are still out there, and this is what's crazy about our state is that our state chairman was one of those free the delegate
Okay.
people. He was an anti-Trump person, and so that's got to make people nervous when your state chairman doesn't want Trump, and he was doing everything he could all up to the last second to get Cruz in there. And when Cruz went up there and said, and all I have to say is just vote your conscience.
I was there.
I just thought, what a waste of an opportunity, and what a selfish person, what a selfish act that was. And I don't know. I think that's why one reason why Beto was so close to beating him for Senate here in Texas was because he lost a lot of support because
But
of
you know
that.
what? I have to give it to Cruz because really he has to follow the people he represents. So if he was just following the people he represents, he didn't break. I mean, if you listen to the speech, I admire that guy. I mean, that guy was solid. But just at the end, I mean, he kind of like had to say whatever he said. But
Well, here's the thing that's funny, Marco, and this is a lot of libertarians. Libertarians walk the line like that. And a lot of the Tea Party folks are kind of the same way. And when they need Republican votes, they're all out there saying, unity, unity. We all need to unify, right? And so they expect us to unify with them. It's like Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz in Texas, a lot of Republicans. He wasn't their guy. He was a Tea Party guy. And when he won the primary, after that, they kept saying, we need to unify. We need to unify and support him. We need to support him. And so we all did. Well, I voted. I've always voted for Ted Cruz because he's the guy on the ticket. And although yes, I vote for Ted Cruz. But when we need their support, they kick us to the curb. They say, "Oh no, he doesn't represent my values." Oh, really? We're there for you, and now we need you. You're not there for us, and that's a scary situation coming into this next 2020 cycle.
you should have somebody from the Ted Cruz office to go to this Latinos to Trump event. I mean, even if he doesn't want to go, I mean, somebody should go.
Yeah, yeah, someone should go, but who knows?
Because
I don't know. I
don't
don't.
you think that there's something wrong with this guy? And same for Marco Rubio, when you have most of the Hispanics voting for Trump, I mean, they're not connecting with us.
Well, and here's why. And it's one reason why. Another reason why Beto was got so many Latino supports, so much Latino support. It's about personality. It's about likability. It's about being able to have a conversation with everyday people, and that's awkward for Ted Cruz. He's he's just not, he's just not real personable like that. I've interviewed him before, and I've had chats with him before, and even me, a Republican, a conservative activist, I felt like he was evasive. He was shifting topics and things, and gosh, and I'm on I'm one of his guys, or on our side anyway.
He gets a
Um,
little too technical sometimes. He
yeah, yeah, maybe that is, but I think what it is um, he's branded himself early as the Democrats branded him early. I'll put it that way. The Democrats branded him early with him being anti immigrant, and so and he's Cuban. So a lot of people think, they don't like Cubans because they think Cubans had it easy because they can all come over on asylum, but Mexicans and everyone else, they can't come. So there's some disdain for him among Latinos simply because he's Cuban and not Mexican. I mean, who knows? But Ted Cruz is a genius. He really is. Very smart man. He's a wizard on the Constitution. I think he'd be a great Supreme Court justice. I think he needs to, he's done that kind of work. He's done good. He's done some good things also in the Senate, but I don't know how long he can hang in there with like the Latino population in Texas growing as it is. I don't know.
Wow. So, what do you see as a newcomer to the United States? And I tell everybody that the hardest thing for me is to unite with Hispanics, and because really the ability to unite is going to dictate our political power and our capacity for service and to help our communities, right? And we come from so many countries, so many ideas, and it's so I see it so hard to unite. Um, so this conference, it's a great opportunity for us to brainstorm and how we're going to be able to establish that identity of Hispanic presence in this political movement.
I can tell you that it's going to be the media that will make that switch for us. It has to be the media because the messaging that we put out there is we could unite every Latino conservative group in the country, and we can all get behind one message, and we could push one message. That might work, but you and I both know that'll never happen. We we shoot ourselves in the foot. We argue with each other. We compete with each other. We tear each other down. We don't want someone else to get glory, or we don't want someone else to get accolades. There's a lot of haterism among ourselves. So, and I'm talking about conservative groups. Conservative groups will do this to each other in Latino groups. Um, but we have to, Republicans, if we could lead on an immigration solution that did not include mass deportation, we could get a lot of support off of that. Republicans won't touch it for the most
part. We
have
this Spanish media that wants to come and document our event. And during the campaign, I had a lot of Spanish media following me around too, because Spain, they're very interested in how Hispanics develop here. Because they see us, it's kind of like England to the United States. Spain kind of looks at it a little bit like that. So I think it's important that the numbers are there. This is going to be the first presidential election that Hispanics are the largest bloc. So something has to happen. Something has to happen. We have to pray about it.
Yeah. I was just going to say that we need to pray about it, but we have to lead. But like that one interview that you saw, or the news program that they did on us, more of those are going to come because we are getting out there more. We are being seen, and the perception is among the media now is that they might want to see what we're up to, because all of a sudden you've got all these things going on. Who are these people? And the more exposure we get from the media that's positive, the more people will say, they'll just open their heart a little bit. We just need a little entry, and they have to be willing to think and acknowledge truth. So they've been hammered for years and years, and we're not going to undo that in an election cycle. I mean, I don't see that. It's not going to happen in 1 or 2 election cycles.
Duke, I don't know when was the last time you went to a quinceañera or a Mexican party, or Mexican American party. But every time I go and I see these kids out there. I mean, millions, thousands of kids that are just waiting for us to tell them which way to go.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm saying leadership. Us being out there doing things, getting the media, getting a newspaper article, getting something um, about our efforts out there, so more people see this program. Um, I don't go to quinceañeras. I got a thing against quinceañeras, but um, I have family, and in my family's children and all my nephews and things, they're graduating high school. They're doing things. We need to reach out to our own people. That's a starting point. We need to reach out to our own people, and like my mother, my sister, and my own family is now coming around to seeing things for what they are. The Democrat. I mean, it's hard to be a Democrat now. I would think it's hard to be a Latino. I'm gonna plug in here before my phone dies. Hang tight.
Well,
Um,
I was at the Democrat convention in this weekend, and I got to see the real Democrat body there, and it's not what they
no.
show on the mainstream media.
Mm.
It's not what they're selling there, because they're selling that, oh, they got all this love for immigrants. The only Hispanics I saw was some delegates, but other than that, most of the speakers didn't have that welcoming. Uh, they were not as welcoming as they say they are. In fact, I have seen the rallies of Trump more welcoming to immigrants and Hispanics than that convention I went to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, they're hypocrites. Democrats are hypocrites, and they they're liars. They're liars. I don't know how else to say it. They intentionally mislead, so they're deceptive. I mean, that's who wants to be associated with that. How long will Latinos eat, continue eating what the Democrats feed them? They're just going like, "What are you going to feed me today?" Whoever, Democrat, if you name any one of them, what are you going to feed me today? Oh, today I've got some real good abortion here. Open your mouth wide. I'm going to feed this abortion right to you. Oh, okay. That's good. I like that. What else you got?
You know, my grandmother had 21 kids. Do you think she would be for abortion? I mean, it's like,
I'm gonna tell you something, Marco, and I think this is gonna make all the sense, because to me, if you're a Democrat today, there's some deviancy in your life. If you're a Democrat, then you have deviant thoughts. You're gonna be um, you're gonna be all about sex, drugs. You're going to be about all the bad things, all the vices that are out there. And Democrats, they don't want to be told that they can't do all these things. If they want to have sex with a minor, hey, that's my right. What I do in my home is my right. If I want to marry a dog, I that's my right to marry a dog. Um, the the deviant lifestyle, I would say a large, large percentage of Democrats have that in them. And we're over there like holding up the cross to the vampire, and they're just like, no, no, we Republicans.
did you see
It's because we're
did you
trying.
see the live that I streamed at the convention where there was the sex workers? They were the ones that were making the biggest noise. They had this band with them, and they were doing all this shenanigans there and asking for rights to decriminalize sex workers, and I was like, this so reflects the beauty of the Democrat Party here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a. I mean, I say deviant, but really, it's evil. There's a lot of evil in the Democrat Party. The things that they promote and stand behind and defend are the worst things for our country, the worst things for American people. Um, and, you know, they don't care about you and me. Promise you that. They don't care about us, our families. They are all about themselves and their vices. Don't mess with our stuff, and don't tell me what to do. That's the Democrats.
You know, Duke, I just want to say that I think we've been looking for each other, and I can see that you have a lot of experience, and thank you because I know you're going to be a lot of help for us because we need people like you so you can help us structure our message and structure our game plan and how to be more effective. Because there's a lot of people that have shown interest in being part of us, part of what we're doing, and I think that we have a responsibility and obligation to service all these people and to help them create what you did in El Paso. It's a perfect example of what we need to do all around the country.
Hmm. And I want to say something also about El Paso. The event was a Latinos for Trump event, but it was in collaboration with the local party.
Okay.
So there's the significance of that to me is that we can unite if we can work if our grassroots organization can work with El Paso and the dynamics there, we can work with anyone. And and I would say to any chairman here in Texas or any other state that we're in, be ready for us to come calling. We're gonna pick up the phone and we're gonna come meet with you and and be open to our message because we're coming with open arms and pure hearts, good intentions for our country. We love this country. I want my daughter to have all the wonderful things for her in her life in the future after I'm gone. And for everyone else, you know, I can't imagine if this country turned socialist. If all of us sit back and do nothing, then that's what's going to happen. And so join the movement. Go to the website, latinosfortrump.us. Sign up. Get involved. Let us know where you're at. We need precinct chairmen. We need leaders. We need, you know, volunteers. So that's my spiel right there.
And go to the conference. I mean, and not just
And
Hispanics or
go,
Latinos, friends of Hispanics and Latinos, because I have to give credit where credit's due, and the Americans are the sponsors of Hispanics. They because they have their structure. It's better. I mean, they. I want to say they're very leaders of this. They have been doing there before we came, right? Since the Mayflower and the Constitution Declaration of Independence. I mean, and then we
Mhm.
came, and we need help basically.
Yeah, you know, the thing that's going to unite us all is our Christian faith. That's going to be what will unite us all. We just have to get, you know, people to just open a little bit and give us a little entry, and I think we can get our message through because there's articles coming out saying that Muslims are converting Latinos from Christian to Muslim at huge numbers. And that's because Latinos have lost hope. They've lost faith in a lot of things. And we have to restore that. And we have to be leaders and examples to people. We have a lot of responsibility, and you know that, you know. people look to us for guidance and leadership, and that's an honor and a privilege that I take seriously, and I know everyone in our group does. We've got a wonderful group: Bianca, Jen, Amelia, Socorro. I mean, I can't name everyone in our group, but you know, I love being a part of this. I'm glad that you got it cranked up, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
You know, the honor is mine, man. Great to great to have this chat with you today, and let's get working for the conference. Looking forward to meet you in
All
person
right,
there.
Marco. Will do. Will
Good night.
do. Take care. Good night. Bye bye.
So there you have it, guys. Um, that was Duke. You can tell Duke has some experience under his belt, and he's willing to share that with us. And that's the beautiful thing, that we bring all this experience of like-minded people. And you can see that most of the people that are in this group that we have are people that have been doing this for a while too, and that's awesome. I don't know if Bianca wants to come up and say hi, or if not, I'm just gonna close it here. But let me just try to bring her up for a little bit, and so we can sell this conference to you guys. Please help us with the conference. If you can't be there physically, help us promote it. Um,
Oh my God, you always call on me when I'm like, dude, my God, what are you doing to me?
what's up, Bianca?
Oh my God, I'm gonna like, look, I'm hanging out, but look who's with me.
Oh my God. Hi, Amelia.
Hey guys!
What's up?
We're resting!
Oh wait, hold on.
We're
Here, hold the phone,
resting.
hold the phone.
When did you get there?
Hi!
Hi. When did you get there? When?
Today.
Today, 11 o'clock.
You tired?
I am.
She missed her first flight.
How are you, Marcos?
Well, I'm afraid now that you guys are together.
Hey, Jesus is smiling. You shouldn't be afraid. He's all like, woo-hoo!
Wow. But that's awesome.
He's high-fiving the father. The girls are together again.
I'm scared what's going to happen in the next couple weeks here.
We have a convention, so we got to get it ready.
Okay. Awesome. So, Bianca, how are we doing? What do we need? Do we need
Well, we got to get everything together. I mean, it looks like everything's coming together pretty good. I mean, we have the place already. It's set up. The times are, speakers. We're still working Bianca's still working on some speakers, but there's a lot of stuff that she's been doing all day today. So it's like, it's like, I hear her and she's on the phone 24/7,
Well, if we don't have enough.
And she's setting up meetings with pastors, setting up meetings with this and that, and going here and going there, and it's just rocking and rolling. And it's a nonstop thing. I could understand. I do that in North Carolina.
If we don't have enough people by that day, I can always go to Home Depot and get a bunch of Hispanics there and bring them, so they.
Oh my God! We're declaring that that's not going to happen. We declare it in the name of Jesus. Latinos for Trump are coming out because they're going to support our president in 2020, and they want to be there because they want to be trained.
Yes.
Because, hey, and they have to be trained. A lot of us do have to get trained.
Yes. Yes. What is Bianca doing?
Ya viene. Me agarraste en mis pijamas. Love you, Marco. Love you guys.
Melia, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Always calling on us. Look, no, never. I wasn't ready for this. I was like, it says, Bianca, join. I'm like, oh no, he's not doing this to me again.
Hey, Bianca, did you hear all this chat with Duke? I mean, He's been there 5
Yes,
generations there.
yes. I was listening to y'all. Me and Amelia have been listening. We've been chatting back on the group chat.
You know, that's like one of the best people we can have around, because he and nobody's gonna tell him anything. I mean, he knows what's been going on, especially all this
Yes,
Antifa that tried to say that's stolen land and blah blah blah.
yes, yes. No, Duke's been around. He's been a delegate like 2, 3 times already. He knows the GOP. He knows the players. He knows the game. He knows the lingo. He knows the messaging. He knows the strengths, the weaknesses. He knows. We all know. Listen, we all know. And it's like he said, at the end of the day, the responsibility that has been placed upon us is we have to deliver X, Y, and Z. And in order to deliver X, Y, and Z, the things that we have said we bring to the table, then because of that, Marco, you know that there are certain people we have to work with, whether we like it or not. It's just the nature of the game. So we are working on Farrah Prudence confirmed. She's bought her ticket. She's coming. She's going to speak. There's another man by the name of Bill is going to call me today. He's going to speak on the Islamic terrorist movement and what what their agenda is and how they're infiltrating and all that good stuff. So we're going to have a segment on that at our conference. We've got delegate training, messaging training. Trevor Loudon's going to join us. Deplorable Choir's is going to be with us. We're working on the rest of the people. Our RNC committee woman, Tony Ann DeShiel, the Texas Republican committee. Oh, goodness gracious. Chairman Association. County Chairman Association in Texas. The president is going to come and teach us and speak to us. So we've got a lot of really good leaders that are coming to speak. So yeah, Amelia's like, man, you're like nonstop. I've been on the phone, Marco, with the White House and FEMA and Department of Health and Human Services. I've been coordinating conference calls with pastors all day today. Just got a confirmed group and with this phone calls that I've been making, we got a confirmed group that's going to meet with officials right now that are down in South Texas helping with the crisis that's going on down there. So I have 5 pastors confirmed that are going to go sit down and find out how they can help. And so with all the crisis. So we've got that going on. Talked to the Border Patrol president today, the union president today. He's gathering a list of items that we're going to be able to do for the care packages for them. He thought we were joking around. They don't ever believe us. They're like, God, thank y'all for doing this. Like they just couldn't believe it. I said, yeah, we're going to get these care packages together and we're going to, the churches want to help. There's ministry groups that want to help. And so let us help. So our target date to complete that is July 25th. Jenny Lynn is working on feeding the Border Patrol in Laredo. So we're working on that in July as well. Myra is working on organizing a Border Patrol law enforcement skeet shoot or something like that with Colonel Allen West in the border. So she's working on that initiative. We all have initiatives on our plates. Amelia, listen, great news. We got 6 brand new leadership applicants this past weekend. So she's got 11 leadership applicants right now. She's sifting through and scheduling interviews with them, vetting them. Not all of them will make it. I mean, because you got to pass through Amelia. Has anybody ever? Did y'all meet Amelia?
I was thinking the other day, Bianca, if I would have not been part of Latinos for Trump and I had to file my application and go through Amelia, maybe I would have not make it.
Look at her.
That's true. I agree. But I love you, Marco.
She says she loves you, Marco. Yeah, listen, I don't even know if I would have made it either. I'm right there with you. She would have cut us off at the legs right there. She would have been like, nope. But you know what? That's what makes our team phenomenal.
Right.
Because she really looks for certain qualities. She looks for strengths and weaknesses. We're not looking for perfect people, but we're looking for great leaders. And so, and people who are activists or advocates or community organizers, people who have experience, who have been doing the things like you, Jenny Lynn, you know, you guys are used to forming, and you can like you all can, in California, you can pretty much promote an event in 48 hours and get people there.
Right.
That's what we did here in Texas. Remember, we did it with the Bikers for Trump. We pretty much in 48 hours put an event together and had almost 100 people in the door within 48 hours. And so, you know, we're looking for those leaders that have that influence to get people together and get them moving around. So, so yeah, between White House, Department of Health and University, I mean, you name it, between all these conference calls, pastors going back and forth, you know, working on the conference, picking up Amelia from the airport, you know, just doing all of the things that we do in the background to make things go round, you know, is what we do. And I did, and I did have another phone call, another conference call with our one of our contacts at the Trump campaign. He was calling to check in just to see how we were doing, updates, things like that. So great conversation as always. We always have a great conversation. We have great allies. One thing here too, I got a call from, and all of this is today. That's why I'm so pooped at the end of the day, Marco. And you say, Bianca, you can really and only should talk to 50 people a day. I probably have already surpassed that today. But the other lady that called me actually is from Florida. Our state director, Enrique, put us in communication. She is the president of the Federated Women. Oh my gosh. Amelia, call my son. Hold on. My son's calling. Hold on, Marco.
Okay.
Call him. Tell him on live. Oh my God. You have his phone number. Call him. Hang on.
Bianca, when I said
Yeah.
50 people, that includes your husband. So if you already, if you already talked to over 50 people, just when you get home, tell me I'm done. I can't.
Oh my God, no, I can't do that to my husband. He's the bread and butter around here. I can't do that to my husband. So but anyway, Enrique put me in communication with her. I'm going to go back to where I was at. So anyway, this Marisol, I believe, or Marisol, I think it was Marisol. She called me from Florida. You know that the 20 candidates that are running for president in the Democrat Party are going to have their first debate in Miami. And so she got a permit to protest against the Democrat Party. She doesn't want socialism and communism in her country. So she was calling upon us, Latinos for Trump. She said, do y'all want to get a bus and come out here and help us protest? Is there people you can send out? Is there people you can send out? And I said, hey, call my son.
I did.
Oh, he didn't answer?
I'm texting
Oh,
him.
okay. So anyway, she wanted to know about that and talk to me about efforts and coordinating efforts and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to get with our Republican women here in Texas. She wants me to pass on the word. And so there I am, just connecting people, networking, talking to people, trying to make the world go round. As instead of the novela As the World Turns, it's going to be As Latinos for Trump Turns.
You know that.
So anyway,
that novela, los, what is it? Los pobres también lloran or something.
oh my gosh, I don't remember that one.
I should say los Latinos también lloran.
Los Latinos también lloran. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God, you're so funny. You're so funny.
Well, thank you, Bianca. I'm so glad that Amelia is there, and I had so much fun talking to Duke.
Yes. Hey, listen, visit latinosfortrump.us, register to come to our conference. Hopefully we'll be updating the actual, all of the marketing material that we got to push out with all of the confirmed speakers right now. We should be getting that together so we can start pushing it out. And anyway, but anybody who wants to attend, I really encourage you to attend. It's going to be a really great event. And I'm telling you, we're going to have a really good lineup. So So yes, absolutely.
Okay, Bianca, you have a good night.
Thank you, Marco. We'll talk later. Peace out. Hey, I'm very proud of the guys in El Paso for doing everything they did. They did a fantastic job.
Yes.
Great. Shout out to Anthony and Dorian and Duke, man. Y'all shined. You did good. You did such a good job. We love it.
Good night.
Bye.
So there you have it. Hey, Baron Gonzalez, what's up? So thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you're not following Duke, follow him. If you're not following Dorian, follow him. Anthony, most of you guys already follow him. And see you guys at this conference. You guys have a good night.